Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and in this video I'm going to be discussing a quite sad topic for me, and that is why I've ignored One Piece for so long and why I regret it. When it comes to it, man, what can I say? I didn't want to read One Piece, I didn't want to watch One Piece, it was way too much. So many episodes, so many chapters, I didn't think I could read it all, it was so overwhelming. Plus I had people bothering me to read or watch One Piece constantly throughout middle and high school, like, hey, you should be reading or watching One Piece, it's one of the greatest things you'll ever see. And I'm just sitting here like, no, Goku, Dragon Ball, okay, that was a lie. I was more like Inuyasha. It was very good. I like it a lot. Okay, but either way, you know, I avoided it because of its length and because people keep talking about it. And here's the thing, guys. I don't know about you, but for me, when people keep saying, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this, do you guys ever feel like you just don't want to anymore at that point? That's me, basically. And that's what I did with One Piece. I just couldn't, wouldn't, and didn't want to read or have anything to do with this series. Even friends that I have now recommended me to read or watch One Piece, and I just, no, I refuse to do it until one fateful day. As many of you may know, there's a channel called Totally Not Mark, and he does reviews. Most of his content is Dragon Ball related, or at least, well, up until One Piece, it was basically only Dragon Ball related. But when it came to it, at the end of his Dragon Ball Heroes review, he said that he was going to be reviewing the entirety of One Piece from start to where it is now. I like his videos. I like them a lot. I greatly enjoy them. They're one of my favorite video essay pieces I've ever watched, and honestly, the quality put into those videos is kind of the quality I want to reach in my videos, if I had the time to do so. But at the very least, you know, his videos are very, how should I say, they're great. They're great thought pieces. Even if you yourself may not agree to what he says or what he thinks or whatever, they're just great videos. You know, there are some misses with the One Piece reviews, but in a later episode, he always addresses those issues. Now, with that all being said, since he was reviewing the entirety of One Piece, I said to myself, well, okay, fine. I'll read One Piece, but I'll just read whatever chapters he's reading and just follow along. So that way I can, you know, I can get the context and reference to what's going on, right? Whatever, it won't be too bad, I guess. I could just pace myself to his pacing. Surely it won't be so great as people make it out to be, right?
There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth.
Wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, attained this and everything else the world had to offer, and his dying words drove countless souls to the seas.
You want my treasure? You can have it. I left everything I gathered together in one place. Now you just have to find it.
And so began my journey of going through the entirety of One Piece. So, you know, I read the first few arcs, and I read page 1, and then continuing on, I was like, okay, these chapters are great and all, you know, and then, you know, chapter 1 was a bang, but then you get to Arlong, and then you get to Skypiea and Impel Down and Marineford, and I just couldn't stop reading this manga. I couldn't stop reading One Piece. There was even a day where I couldn't sleep, and I was just like, well, what should I do? Oh, I know. I'll just read One Piece. It surely wouldn't be that bad. And I read like nearly 200 chapters in that one day. I was so, how could I say, like, I was essentially chained up, not forcing myself, but being forced to read One Piece, because I read the manga. You're not catching me watching that anime, especially even now, that adaptation, garbage. Alright, but I read the entire manga, and from start to finish, I just kept reading, and I couldn't stop. There was something about it. At every page I turned, I felt something great and good about it. I love the characters, I love the story that's being told, I love the world building. Sure, the action scenes aren't usually the greatest, you know, some are, but not all the time. But for me, that's not what really matters in this type of manga. In Dragon Ball, I care about the fights because, let's face it, without the fights, well, not much really goes on, right? If you were to off-screen the fights in Dragon Ball, it wouldn't really be as interesting, in my opinion. I mean, obviously, there are thought-provoking things in Dragon Ball, but when it comes down to it, you know, at the end of the day, I gotta say how it is. Dragon Ball, you know, is very simple in comparison. I'm not saying it's not deep, I'm just saying it's simpler than One Piece in terms of its world building, in terms of its characters and how their characters are being used. I mean, post time skip, you can definitely feel the drop of certain Straw Hats, but with recent chapters, it has been picking up lately. So I'll say that's a good thing. That's a great thing. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I never once thought to myself, well, you know, it's whatever. I'm not gonna go back to this, right? And yet I do. It's weird. As though there's just something about this series. The more I continue to read it, the more I enjoy it. And when I finally got to the last chapter available at the time, it's like, well, what do I do now? I was sort of stuck. I wanted to read more. What could I say? It was so great. I love the characters and everything about it. Luffy especially has become my favorite shonen protagonist of all time. There's no other character in my opinion that just beats him from the mangas that I've read, and I've read several at this point. You know, I've been reading more manga more and more nowadays. But even still, Luffy's great. And I'm so glad that I was able to read One Piece right as the series, you know, it's been stated that the series is soon to come to an end. How far of an end that is, we don't know. You know, some people say 5 years, less so, more so, but regardless, One Piece is going to end someday after all. You know, it can't always be a never-ending story. And I think it's fine that way. I think every story needs an end eventually. But when it comes down to it, I think that whatever that ending is, I'm glad I'm there for the ride. I'm glad I didn't wait for One Piece to finish for me to read it all. You know, I'm glad I can be on this journey with this series. And honestly, I genuinely regret never having read it so many years ago. But I'm grateful to be reading it now. With that all being said, I thank you guys so much for watching. Please take care of yourself, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day. Subscribe, read One Piece, and I'll see you later. Peace!